Hi, this is CJ, and this is 316 Seconds. Let's go. Hello, good people, and welcome. The last time we met, we talked about faith in terms of you must match your faith with works. It is not a good move, it's not a God move to claim that you have faith and yet you refuse to go to work. Today we're going to take that conversation further. Welcome. If you indeed claim to be a child of God, which I know all of us claim to be, then you must behave like the one whose child you are. In the very first book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, the occasion of creation is introduced to us. But at the surface, there's similarly a sort of opposition in the context of the first two sentences that presents itself in the text. So the Bible opens up by saying, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now you will think that the God who is a God of order, the God who is a God of sequence, a God of process, that whatever God creates is going to be fine. But the very next sentence kind of shatters that conception. It says, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. It is possible to be smack center in the will of God. It is possible to be in a situation that God has orchestrated, that God has permitted, that God has created, and still be in the midst of a place that has no form, a place that has no structure, a place that is empty and void, and a place where darkness is on the face of the deep. For that believer whose faith is only grounded in outcomes, you will think, oh, this has to be a terrible situation. This cannot be the will of God for my life. God created this, but then God has walked away from this. Yes, God might have started this, but look at how bad things are. Look at the situation with my health, with my wealth, with my family, with my relationships, with my finances, with everything that concerns me. It is dark, it is void, it is without form. And so the enemy tells you a lie, that because you're in this valley of the shadow of death, that God is not with you. But look at what the very next verse says. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. You must be sensitive in the seasons of darkness, in the seasons of emptiness, in the seasons of pain, to realize that when God says, I am with you always, He literally means that He is with us always. Don't let the outcome of your present situation dictate your faith in God. Remember, our faith is in Him and not through the outcomes of what He's able to do. Because you must realize that God's ability stems from His personality. So if you don't have faith in Him, it becomes impossible to hold on to what He's able to do. When next you find yourself in a dark and a void place, in a situation in life that nothing makes any sense, I want you to do what the one who you claim to be His child did in the same book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. So I'm going to read this version, and I love how it puts it. So this is the contemporary English version. And God said, I command light to shine, and light started shining. When you're faced with a dark and a void situation, you don't negotiate with darkness. You don't plead with darkness. You don't implore darkness. You command light. Your transaction is with light. Darkness is not real. Darkness only exists because light has not come. If you're a child of God, you speak as God did. You command the light to shine, and the light immediately begins to shine. This is the thing we must understand in this year. God is going to bring us to situations that will demand of us to command the morning. You must learn to command your day. You must learn to command your destiny. You must learn to command your purpose. And the simple truth is that to command your morning, you must do what the one who made the morning did when he made the morning. He speaks to the morning. So regardless of where you are or what you're facing, I implore you today to speak to your morning, to speak to your relationships, to speak to your family, to speak to your destiny, and align it with the will of God. Because when you command something in accordance with the will of God, it's a done deal. Let he who has an ear hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Amen.